Don't say stay to the dog. If you're like me, you grew up in a time when people said stay. Stop saying it. I know that it's tough to do. I had this problem like in the 90s. Like I was like, God, I keep saying stay. Don't say stay. Makes no sense. You're just implying to the dog that there's something other than the command sit, and there's not. There's just sit, and then you give them another command to get out of that command. You don't say stay. It's just sit. Okay? Jules, up. Sit. No, sit. Teaching your dog sit as an implied stay is very important. Most people think that teaching your dog sit is just about that. He's sitting his butt on the ground. But it's not just about the dog sitting its butt on the ground. It's about the dog sitting its butt on the ground until it gets another command. You never say the word stay. You don't say sit, stay, because it's built into the command. Do you understand? Don't do that. Don't say stay. It's just sit, so that if he gets up, he's making a mistake unless I gave him another direction. Like I could just use his name and call him to me. Whatever it is, he needs another command. It's just sit. You do not say stay. Okay? Now, to teach them this, it's different than when you're teaching them to just sit their ass on the ground. When you're teaching the dog to sit its ass on the ground, if it doesn't sit its ass on the ground, it's an upward motion with the leash, and you can push their butt down with your other hand. We say, no, sit. Or just sit, and pushing their ass down on the ground, they start picking it up. But to get them to understand the implied stay, you have to catch them cheating, which they'll do. So like if I walk away, he's probably gonna, he only has a little bit of training, so if I walk, he'll probably think that he should walk with me or whatever. He's not thinking. But I'm gonna look for the dog, like if I do this, no. And see, I caught him right when he moved. I didn't say to pop out a sit. I was moving. I didn't tell him to come with me. That's where you have to catch them. It's right at that point. You have 1.3 seconds for positive or negative reinforcement. So with Jules, sit. No, sit. What I'll do is, by the way, this loop is for your thumb. It's not for your wrist. I'll put my thumb in there like this, and then I'll walk around trying to catch his ass coming up off the ground. If I catch his ass coming up off the ground, I'll come in with a correction upwards. No, sit. No. He's picking up on it. No. Now each time he's going to do it, he puts his head down a little bit. I'm coming off the thing, so I'm looking for that little bit of movement. You got to read your dog. I'm looking for just that head movement, and then I'm saying no. A lot of times I'm saying no in a video, and there's people that don't know what's going on. They're saying he's saying no, and the dog's sitting. Yeah, well, I can see he's about to move. I can see he's about to move. But here it's sort of obvious. So watch the dog. As I move, he's probably going to try and move. Well, that's pretty good. That's better. He's thinking about it. Well, he's not thinking about it, but... Sit. Good boy. Sit. So I circle the dog. I might reinforce. I might say sit. I'm repeating the command because he's just learning this. Once he learns the command, it'll just be no, sit. Or just sit. And if he's non-compliant, no, sit. Sit. Now when you start teaching them this, you're going to want to circle around the dog. Most of the time you'll have problems when you're going around the backside. That's when they're going to either turn and look at you, or they're going to cheat and move. So when you're going around the backside, you could do a little bit of this upwards leash flexing like this, right? Just remind the dog that you're still there. And if he did get up when you went around the backside, you could, no, see, I'm watching him, and his ass was starting to get up. So I gave a little bit of this, and I said no. Now at a point, we'll start dropping the leash, but I'm not going to drop the leash yet because I know that he has this tendency to get off his mark, and he needs to learn this. Now this is a dog that, there's another dog I'm going to bring out and work with. This is Jules, and I'll bring out Marty. Marty picked up sit quicker. I just pushed his ass down a few times. Him, it was a little bit more, but it's no reflection upon him. One dog is good at one thing, and another dog is good at something else. They're all about the same. They all want, do you see what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he's more resistant. He's also an intact male. He's intact. Trust me, Marty has different things going on. We'll talk about Marty. Marty's awesome. Both these dogs are awesome. Sit. Now I'm making it around, so I am going to drop the leash and see how he does. If he moves, I got to pick the leash up and put him right back where he was. You have to do it as quick as possible. Sit. That's good. Sit. Now because I'm picking up the leash, that isn't an indication that he's going to move, and I want him to get used to me picking up the leash, so I'll pick up the leash and then I'll drop it again. Then I'll circle. If he moves, I'll say no and repeat the command. Jules, good boy here. And then we just repeat the process. No, up. Get up there, up. Come on. No, all the way. Sit. No, you're doing good, dude. Sit. Drop the leash. They pick it up quick. When you first start doing it, though, you'll make real tight circles around the dog so that if he moves, you can grab the leash, but then you start making the circles, you know, wider and wider. That's good. Let me go get Marty. That's good, dude. Heel. That's good. This is Marty, and when I first met Marty, he growled at me, and his mother was holding him. So he got positive reinforcement for being aggressive to a human. Now, when I met Jules, Jules barked at me, but he was on the ground. He had a leash on, and he was on the ground. So there wasn't that, you know, that loving force telling him that's good to growl. So we had other issues with Marty coming in, but Marty picked up on sit quicker. But it like I said, it doesn't matter. One dog's good at one thing, you know, and it doesn't matter in the long run because you're talking about the beginning of training. It just doesn't matter. It's that they all get to the same place. So Marty's pretty good with sit. As far as, like, if you say sit, he sits his ass down pretty good. Here, heel. But I did train him the same way that up, sit. See how quick he is? But I trained him the same way that I trained Jules, by pushing his ass down and upwards with the leash. So he learned the same way. But as an implied stay, you know, he's probably about as good as Jules is, meaning we've worked on this, but he needs to be better at it. So same thing, I just circle the dog. I'm looking for that moment when the dog moves. No, sit. No, see, see what I'm saying? Sit. So he could sit his ass down quicker than Jules, but Jules, I can circle already. See what I'm saying? It's like apples and oranges. It doesn't matter. Same thing. I'll put this. Remember, this is for your thumb, never your wrist. And I'm looking for him to move. And I'll stay out in front. And I'll do like a half circle. I won't go all the way around. I'll go to the no. If he moves, I put him back in the correct position going forward. he has to learn this. If he's not going to be able to do that, how am I going to drop the leash and walk 50 feet away? Sit. No, sit. No. See, none of this moving around. that doesn't cut it. Sit. No, sit. Sit. A lot of times you can get closer to the dog and start doing it that way, just like step behind them. Like if you're real close, they don't. No, dude. See, this is going to be an issue, but it's good because you all get to see this, and I'm sure that there's probably a lot of dogs doing the same thing. So I don't want him to do that, but the only way that I can get around him the whole way is by trying to get around him the whole way. You'll do it. You'll do the half circles. You'll be telling the dog to sit, and then one time you'll make it around once, and then you're home free, and then you can make it around twice. Do you see what I'm saying? It just takes some time. No, back up. Get on here, right, dude? Now I'm using this concrete sack of concrete here, but I could use something smaller with Marty. That might even help. But let's see if we can do it. Sit. No, sit. Sit. No, sit. No, dude, no. No, sit. No, dude, stop that. No, sit. No. Mean it, sit. No. Sit. No, sit. Sit. See, I made it sort of around. He's still screwed up, but I did make it around. Sit. Sit. No, sit. No, man. No. Frustrating. You can hear it in my voice, right? Sit. Generally not a frustrating dog, though. Sit. No. Sit. No, motherfucker. God damn it. Sit. No, sit. No. Sit. No. Now that time I like stepped over his backside. Then maybe I'd do it a little bit farther away. Sit. No, sit. No, man, I am not doing this, Marty. Sit. No. Sit. Sit. See, I can drop the leash if I'm out in front of him, right? But going behind him, that's where the issue is. Sit. No, sit. So I'll just do this half circle thing. Sit. No, sit. Good boy, sit. No, sit. Sit. No. See how it's a little bit better, less movement? Sit. No, sit. You're a good boy. Sit. No, sit. No, man. So reposition the dog so that they're going right. Sit. No. Good boy. Sit. No, man. No, I'm not happy. Listen to my voice. I'm not happy with this. No. Sit. There. I just got around once without him making any movement. That's your success. That's it. Let's see if we can do it again. Did you notice I gave him a little tug on the collar when I put him down at sit, reminding him that it's on? It's like, no, sit. Like that. Just a little leash flexing. Sit. See, they flip in and out of it until they get it. Sit. No, sit. It's twice I've been able to go around him. Each time I did it, I gave him a little right before. That's fine. I'm reminding him that the collar's on, the leash is on. Marty, sit. Sit. No. 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 Sit. You get that? So each dog I spent about 7 minutes on getting them to do sit as an implied state, meaning that I can move around them. And now the rest of the afternoon, we'll come out here and we'll do this, and I'll start making the circle bigger and bigger. If any time the dog gets off the mark, wherever it is, I put them right back down where they were. Okay? You don't say stay to the dog. Don't say stay. It's implied. It's built into the command. If you say stay, you're implying to the dog that there's something other than the command sit, and there's not. There's not anything. All the commands are just the commands. You never say stay. It's not whoa, stay. It's not down, stay. It's just the command until they get another command. That's good. Good job, Marty. So the session after this will go a lot smoother. Doesn't go real smooth all the time. Just take your time and be thorough, okay? Take your time. Keep the sessions short depending on the dog. This is an adult dog. So 10 minutes. We'll quit right now and then we'll come out. I'll work Jules and then I'll work Marty again. Good job, Marty.